love with summer. I hate summer. I hate her crooked teeth. I hate her 1960s.
Welcome back to Male Choices. In today's video, we're diving into the big changes happening in the dating world, where men are flipping the script and women are feeling the effects. We'll break down how men are reclaiming control, the unexpected reactions from women, and what all of this means for modern relationships. If you're ready for some real talk, make sure you've hit subscribe, and turned on those notifications. Let's jump right in.
Just so you know, this is the real bare minimum.
Awesome. And I'm sure you won't mind if we men give you a few of our bare minimums as well.
Flowers? Bare minimum.
Interesting. Well, if that's the case, then making a sandwich is the bare minimum.
Checking up on you throughout the day? Bare minimum.
Not whining and hounding us for attention and validation throughout the day? The bare minimum.
Letting you know when they made it home from work? Bare minimum.
Having a beer ready and handing it to us as we walk in the door from a hard day's work? Bare minimum.
Telling you goodnight every night? Bare minimum.
Giving us a little something something every night? Bare minimum.
Not going out to bars or clubs without you?
Not spending hours and hours a day talking to your girlfriends or surfing social media? Bare minimum. And to all you ladies going absolutely apoplectic right now and screaming that these demands that men have are absurd, ridiculous, and narcissistic, well, I hate to break it to you ladies, but that's exactly how men feel about your bare minimums. And so long as you have yours, well, we're entitled to ours. It's called equality, ladies. It's something you've been screaming about and demanding for decades now. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Welcome to the so-called equality era, but let's not kid ourselves. What's really being pushed isn't true equality. It's more about superiority, plain and simple. Just look at TikTok, full of women stirring up drama, preaching about equal rights. But when you really break it down, they're after something else entirely. They want all the perks without any of the responsibility. They want the benefits but don't want to put in the equal effort. We've moved away from the original goals of feminism, which was about equality of opportunity, to something more like equity, where the scales are intentionally tipped in their favour. They want the outcomes to be the same, but without the hard work or accountability that comes with it. It's wild. Women talk about wanting equality, but when it's time to split the check, take equal responsibility in relationships, or actually contribute to building a life together, they suddenly fall back on traditional expectations. Suddenly, it's the man's job to handle it all. And let's be real, if we're talking about a Chad, he doesn't even need to lift a finger. He's already on a pedestal while everyone else is told to step up. At the end of the day, this isn't about equality anymore. It's about control. The game has changed, and a lot of men have caught on. They're done playing by these double standards, which is why so many are opting out of modern dating altogether. Women need to stop pretending they want equality and admit that what they're really after is a system that benefits them without having to give back equally.
Okay, not to be shallow or anything, but if I'm being honest, sometimes I get really offended by the type of men that hit on me sometimes. Yeah, is it only me?
Women act like they want a real man, but the moment you don't fit into their little mold of tall, handsome, and chiseled, you're invisible. They judge based on looks first, and if you don't hit that physical jackpot, forget it. Everything else about you doesn't matter. You could be the most loyal, respectful, and driven man on the planet, but if you don't match her superficial checklist, you're out. It's crazy because women constantly say they want a genuine connection, yet their actions scream otherwise. They'll pass over a solid guy who could offer them real loyalty and partnership, just because he doesn't look like a cover model. This mentality of needing a man to be some perfect physical specimen to even be considered is why so many good men feel ignored and undervalued. Here's the real kicker. These women think they're going to find lasting love. But when you base your choices purely on looks, you're just setting yourself up for shallow, temporary flings. If women want a meaningful relationship, they need to get out of their own way. Stop basing everything on physical appearance and start appreciating qualities that actually make a man worth being with long term. Otherwise, they're going to keep missing out on real men who bring substance, loyalty, and value to the table while chasing after fantasies that won't last.
My favorite incel weirdo comment is women only date for free food. It makes me laugh because I'm like, okay, let's say I go on 1 date a week and I go to dinner, which by the way, not every date I go on is a dinner date. But for the sake of argument, let's say I'm going on 1 dinner date a week. How am I feeding myself dinner the other 6 nights a week? Am I just not eating dinner until a man takes me out to eat? I just always laugh at the fact that they're like, you just want free dinner. Do you know how much time and energy and money I have to spend on hair and makeup and an outfit for a date? I am actively losing money by going to dinner with you, but I'm still going because I'm dating you to see if I'm interested. Not to mention, we're also putting our lives at risk because you don't know if that guy from Hinge is actually going to kill you. So no, we don't date for the free food. I can take myself to dinner, and I do feed.
It's a tough reality, but a lot of men today are waking up to the fact that some women aren't interested in genuine connections anymore. They're just looking for sponsors. Men are starting to see through the game where a woman shows up for a fancy dinner with zero intention of dating just to enjoy a free meal. There's no emotional investment, no real interest, just an opportunity for a good time at his expense. This creates distrust. Men begin questioning if women are genuinely interested in them or just in what they can provide. Relationships start to feel more like transactions than real connections. But men are catching on. They're becoming more selective, refusing to be treated like walking ATMs and focusing on women who truly want to get to know them. At the end of the day, real relationships are built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine interest, not on someone looking for a free ride. Men who value themselves aren't falling for it anymore. They're seeking something real.
How much money does a man have to make to qualify for you?
At least $500,000.
Come again?
I mean, definitely 6 figures is the bare minimum.
But you said isn't 500K that's 1%?
I would say
1%?
because I would say at least $1 million for retirement so we can live in Europe.
Wait.
Doesn't that sound almost insane to say at your age that you expect a man with $1 million nest egg to take you to Europe to give you your happily ever after? That's not delusional to you?
Nope.
Most men, by the way, in your age bracket are on a Social Security fixed income retirement.
I've met them. They're out there. I don't think I'm delusional. I don't know. That guy said he was a multimillionaire and he'd rather be with a 52-year-old with a son than a young girl. So there are men out there.
I think you missed the part, that message said he was joking.
It was sarcastic.
Oh.
It's insane, isn't it? You've got these women out here expecting a high-value man, the kind making $500K a year, to be interested in something that's already been run down, so to speak. They're completely disconnected from reality. Think about it. A guy who's built himself to that level of success, who has every option in front of him, isn't going to waste his time with someone who's carrying a ton of baggage or has been through all sorts of wear and tear. It's not even about being harsh, it's about understanding your own value. But somehow these women think they can stroll up with these absurd demands, offering almost nothing in return. They've made questionable choices for years and now expect some high-value man to come in and save the day. Meanwhile, they're turning their noses up at the good guys who don't tick all their ridiculous boxes. They act like they're owed something just for existing. The disconnect is unreal. It's no wonder men are stepping back. We're living in reality while they're stuck in some fantasy world where they think they can have everything without putting in the work or even considering what men actually want. The whole dynamic is out of whack and frankly, men are done with it.
So, this is where we're at. Wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not. I don't have anything left in me anymore. I don't know how to describe how I feel other than just numb. I'm just so convinced at this point that it's just never gonna work out for me. I'm so tired of ending up with the same person just in a different body. I am so tired of putting all of my trust in someone and giving someone the benefit of the doubt only for them to completely not be able to fulfill any promises that they say they're going to keep. I don't have another talking stage in me. I literally refuse to get on a dating app. I just literally don't know what to do anymore. I just genuinely don't understand why every single time that I step outside of my comfort zone, I think I'm doing something big by taking a risk and being brave and doing something I wouldn't have done in the past. It still ends the same way. And now I'm just like, is anything worth it anymore if I'm still gonna get hurt even if I do things differently. And that's the most frustrating part, is people are like, oh, you're the common denominator, like you have to do something different. I do something different and I'm still getting the same result. I'm so tired. All I want to do is rot all the time. I just don't understand like what it is about me that makes people think that they can treat me the way that they do, and I'm nothing but kind to them. I'm nothing but honest and loyal, and I give people space to share things with me, so why can't anyone do that for me? And like moving forward is just like, how am I ever supposed to feel confident about anything? Because it's like it always just slaps me in the face. I genuinely cannot get excited anymore about anything because it's like everything just lasts for such a short period of time. It's like the second I start getting excited or happy about something, God or the universe or whoever is controlling my life is like, I love watching you suffer, so I'm just gonna like sprinkle this thing into your life and just make you miserable. And I'm so tired. Like, I just do not know. I don't know how I can move forward from this.
This woman's out here crying her heart out on the internet, wondering why she keeps ending up in the same situation with every relationship. It's like she's on repeat, dating the same type of man in a different body, and somehow acting surprised when the outcome doesn't change. She thinks she's found a real man this time, but guess what? It's just another Chad playing the same old games. No commitment, no care for her feelings, just the same lack of respect. Here's the real kicker. She's blind to the fact that she's the common denominator in all these situations. You can't expect different results if you keep choosing the same kind of guy. She's drawn to the excitement, the flash, the bad boy vibe, thinking this time it'll be different. But deep down, it's the same energy in a new package, and until she breaks the cycle, she's going to keep getting burned. A real man isn't the image she's chasing. He's not the guy with all the swag, the smooth talk, or the toxic traits disguised as confidence. A real man brings stability, respect, and care into her life, but that's not who she's choosing. Instead, she's stuck in the same loop, attracted to the wrong type, thinking somehow things will change. The truth is, until she shifts her approach, she's going to keep dating the same guy over and over, just in a different body, and end up with the same disappointing results. At some point, you've got to stop and ask, when does the blame shift? When do you start taking accountability for the patterns you keep repeating? Because if you're only drawn to Chads, you're always going to get Chad results.
Definitely men are the prize. Like, if we're really being honest, men really are the prize. Like, every woman wants to have a great man, but not every great man wants to have a great woman. A man wants to have a functioning woman, a woman that's able to complement his lifestyle. They actually have bare minimum in terms of what they really want from women. But us, on the other hand, we have these high expectations of men. Why? Because men are the prize. Besides the fact that men are the ones that actually choose to marry, and they're the ones that, you know, are people that create the solid foundation for relationships. Like, men are the prize. We do everything for men. We do everything to impress men. But we're so ignorant about it, and see, as Kata acting as though we are the prize. But men are the prize. Men are definitely the people that they think they are. That's on condition that a man thinks he is who he is. Yeah, well, because we've gone above and beyond just to impress them. And guess what? The crazy thing is, they're not easily impressed. They not that they're not easily impressed. They just don't care about all the things that we want to impress them with. So yeah, men are the prize. And what's crazy is, if you'd actually go into a man's phone, a man who's in a relationship, a solid, healthy relationship, and loves his woman, you'll find that majority of women actually want to fuck him. Majority of women actually want what that woman is having. Why? Because they're the prize. And everyone wants the prize. Everyone wants to win. But not all of us can win. That's the tricky part. So yeah, men definitely the prize.
Men will do everything for a woman who truly values and respects them, no question. When a man feels appreciated and seen, there's no limit to how far he'll go to make her happy. But let me be clear. He's not going to waste time with someone who doesn't give him that same respect back. Men know their worth now, and they're done chasing validation or trying to prove themselves to someone who doesn't see their value. Men bring a lot to the table: stability, loyalty, ambition, protection, and they deserve a woman who acknowledges that. They aren't asking for much, just basic respect and partnership. They're not going to settle for being taken for granted or treated as disposable. When they find a woman who brings real love, respect, and value to the table, that's when they'll commit fully. But until then, they'll keep their standards high, knowing they deserve someone who truly appreciates them. Men have options too, and they're done settling for less. The right woman will get everything from them, because men are the prize, and they deserve to be treated like it.
I personally want to thank the men that still do the cold approach. They still come up to you, introduce themselves, and in a kind, respectful way shoot their shot. Because I'm telling you, that is not easy. Some girls are just horrifying. And I'm a girl myself, so I can say this and not be attacked for it. But genuinely, some girls are terrifying. Because you could even throw a compliment at another girl, and they could give you the meanest, darkest look that you have ever experienced in your entire life. They look at you like scum, and they can't even take a compliment. There was one time that I went up to this girl because she was stunning. And I just was like, okay, she has to know. She goes, got it going on. She has a cute fit on. Of course, I want to go hype her up. So I walked up to her and I was like, hey girl, I just wanted to say I love your outfit. You look so beautiful. And the reaction I got, it was the slow head turn and the thanks. Yeah, so men, I get it, okay? It made me feel horrible. And I was like, wait, why do I feel bad? I was just hyping my girl up. And I'm not saying that all girls are like this, because yeah, there's going to be shitty people, and then there's going to be amazing people that are going to be kind, and if they don't even want you, they'll let you down in a kind, respectful way. But it's scary, because when you get looked at like you have done something that has assaulted them, even though you were being vulnerable, it's not a nice feeling. It genuinely is not a nice feeling. And I get it why y'all are hesitant. But I just want to say I appreciate the ones that still do it. I appreciate you.
Here's the reality. Most women today seem like they want nothing to do with men unless you tick every superficial box on their checklist. Men are getting fed up with dating because if you're not some model-looking guy with a perfect six-pack, you're instantly labelled as creepy or accused of harassment just for existing near them. The standards women hold these days have become absurd, and honestly, it's exhausting to even try. They've got this mental list of icks that's so long it's like 600 items deep. Send a text that's too long, you're out. Wear the wrong shoes, goodbye. Say something slightly off, you're done. It's like they're actively searching for reasons to write you off rather than trying to build a connection. For a lot of guys, this endless game of impossible standards has them ready to throw in the towel. Why put in all that effort just to be judged over trivial nonsense? Men just want to be accepted for who they are, flaws and all. But these days, if you're not 6 feet tall, making six figures, and have the personality of a Hollywood star, you're automatically dismissed. And what's happening? Guys are walking away from dating altogether. They're tired of trying to meet these ridiculous expectations, tired of feeling like they're always one misstep away from being called creepy. Women don't seem to realise that their constant search for perfection is pushing away the men who might actually care about them. At the end of the day, all men want is a little understanding and acceptance. No one's perfect, but it feels like if you're not perfect, you're automatically seen as a problem. That's the harsh reality of modern dating, where men are giving up because they're tired of the constant judgment and rejection.